Welcome to another edition of The New Entrepreneur. I'm your host, Natalie Peace. Last week, we answered the question, where do great business ideas come from? And this episode, we're answering the question, who do I talk to about my great business idea? You might be identifying a trend with our series. We really want you to be talking to other people about your business idea. Other people can give us the perspective we need to keep us on track. Either stop focusing on the areas that perhaps we're wasting time on and focusing on the areas we really need to be giving attention to. I'm going to share a few interviews with you this episode. First of all, a gentleman near and dear to my heart, Mr. Bernie Warren. He believed in me from the very beginning of my business idea. Bernie Warren from Thompson Rivers University.
You might see someone in the finance area. You might see someone in the looking at it from a marketing standpoint, from various angles, and they all come at it with different aspects. And that's what makes an idea sound, because it smooths the edges down.
Neat. It's basically expertise in different areas, and you're just tapping into to different areas of expertise. It's like a board of advisors, right?
Absolutely, and that's what gives you the power of refining the idea, because it is a refinement that we have to work on, and we won't think of all the little angles, and we won't think of all the little nuances of our idea, but other people will. They'll have that in mind, and that's what's so critical.
If there's somebody, another business from maybe outside of our area that's already operational and is doing the same sort of thing that you're doing, I wouldn't hesitate to contact them and get a better understanding of their business and some of the challenges that they've encountered, how they're doing, get some suggestions from them.
What about friends and family? Often for new entrepreneurs, that's the first line of attack that we know.
They're usually the easiest.
They're usually the easiest.
Yeah.
But what do you think? What about qualifying the people that you're talking to about this? You know, for example, what if your mom is just supportive no matter what it is you say?
That's right, and that's the danger.
That is the danger. So what do you think of the family side of it?
It's always good to get their input, but you do have to maybe discount a little bit. You have to be aware of the fact that they are biased.
Well, with most business people, the first thing we need is dollars, and the first thing we need to do is go to families, and so why not? That's the best avenue for any. And if they don't believe in you, who's going to believe in you, right? So absolutely, and they have expertise. Everybody has pieces of different expertise, and it's an entrepreneur's job to put those pieces together in a big puzzle and come up with the idea.
But we also, at Community Futures, one thing that we've been quite involved in the last couple of years is through Small Business BC. We offer the video conference workshops, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but they have a real wide range of business topics that they cover.
How do you identify someone you'd like to be your mentor? What do you look for in somebody if you're starting out in business? What is it that you would recommend that people look for in a mentor?
Okay, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not ever sure we actively go out and seek our mentors. I think they kind of we open up the doors because we're talking to all these people, and something just falls into place and say, hey, I could learn a lot from that person. That person's done it, and I could get some experience, or I could get some knowledge, right? And I mean, one of the things we started with is you came with this idea that you wanted to have some kind of fast food outlet, and you wanted it healthy, and you had this idea, can I say, Fat Gigi's food, and so I said, well, let's go register a domain name, right? So we picked a domain name, and so what you're doing is you're looking for some expertise that, as you're bouncing the ideas off of, what can you do next? And that's what I think a mentor gives you. It gives you that, well, just go do this, and go do this, and go do this, right?
The next logical step.
Yeah, because it helps, because it is a plan, and the whole thing's about a process, how we get there. It's not the end goal, it's how we get there, and there's many different steps to get there, and the mentor helps you focus.
So I have a question about what's in it for the mentor. Usually you're sharing your time and thought and energy, and it's essentially consulting at no cost.
Right.
So what's in it? What's motivating the mentor to spend that time with someone?
The biggest thing, I mean, a lot of us are driven by connections and connecting, and we enjoy successes. We enjoy, I mean, we sit back and whether it's we're living vicariously through those successes, or whether it's just looking out and saying, hey, that was a good, that person's doing really well. And that's the intrinsic, it's obviously an intrinsic reward, because we don't, like you say, it's time and it's money, but it also helps us. Now, so whenever I have, if I have a student who's interested in starting a franchise or going to a restaurant, I'll say, hey, phone Natalie, because she's already done it. And so it's building these connections and building these networks. That's what makes it so exciting. And watching it grow.
Jim, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. You gave us some really valuable insights.
Oh, you're very welcome. It was my pleasure, Natalie.
Thank you. Neat. Thank you. Thank you very much, Bernie.
Very welcome. Pleasure.
There's a great quote by Robert Allen: successful people like to share what they've learned with others. It's a human trait to want to pass on wisdom. Your step for success this week: contact a potential mentor and ask him or her for 15 minutes of their time. Your success could cost nothing more than a cup of coffee. For more information, check us out at racetoamillion.ca, and join us next week when we look at why do I need a business plan and what is it? I'm Natalie Peace for The New Entrepreneur.